In our music video, we chose to follow certain conventions of similar music videos in the genre of music. We followed ideas of bands like Atreyu, A Day to Remember, and Attack Attack. After researching into music videos by these bands and a few similar bands, we discovered that a mixture of narrative and performance is quite popular. So, we decided to adapt on this. Most of these narratives involve a girl or a lover, so we found appropriate to adapt this into our own music video. Also with this genre, a lot of darker colours are used, like black, but other colours, like reds, whites, light blues, are still used mostly in the clothing that they wear. With our guitarist Alan wearing a popular alternative brand, Atticus, we've adapted on this. The drummer Paul, he's wearing a black hooded top with a No Fear shirt, and with me with the white t-shirt and check shirt combo. However, the bassist Sam thought against our conventions and being more of an anomaly, which is also sort of a convention of this, standing out. This form of challenging these conventions I think worked, which is why I allowed them. As a director and also part editor, while filming this, I thought of a few images and video clips that we could insert into the background of this music video. However, most of this had to be done at the editing stage. So we decided to use some flashing effects and different other effects that I noticed had been used before by many different bands and videos, like a video by Mammal where a flashing set is used on the performance. Also, in a live concert by Bring Me the Horizon, I found a big BMTH on the backdrop, flashed and did different effects, so I thought I would adapt on this by also using in flashing effects. Now, the flashing light sequence, I got the idea of this from the video Starting Over by Killswitch Engage, where there are many different flashing lights going around the band, usually car effects. I thought that this was a good method, so we used a program to insert and make all of these flashing effects and lights and spread them up using Final Cut.
I believe the combination of our music video and ancillary text was very effective as we actually integrated elements of our music video into our digipack and magazine advertisement. Sticking to the same colour scheme throughout of all of our products, which was basically black and white, did this. This helped as it made it clear there was a direct link to all of the products, so if one got your attention, they all would. We use black and white because it uses the age-old technique of using contrasting colours to make all of the information that the designer wants to be noticed get noticed. We use dark colours in our work as a way of sticking to the convention of the music genre, post-hardcore, which, like just about all rock genres, uses a dark and quite depressing colour scheme as it seems to appeal to fans of the genre. For the font, I got a font called Porcelain, as it suited the name of the band well as it looked very flowing and dreaming, which, seeing as the band have shadows and ghosts in their name, it struck me as an obvious choice as it seemed to represent the name perfectly. Also, we used actual stills from the music video we produced in the digipack and magazine advert to enhance the definitive link between them once more. The images we used from the video and the digipack were the shot of the town centre sign and the image of the band walking away at the end of the video. The town centre image was used to relate to the short bit of information written beneath it as a way of showing the band haven't gotten ahead of themselves and still remember their roots. The image of the band walking away was placed where the CD would go and was used to depict the end of the album and relates to the town centre image, as it shows that although they remember their roots, this album is their way of moving on to bigger and better things. All of the images used on the inside of the digipack were made black and white and faded slightly so that they were seamlessly integrated into the background and didn't look like they'd just been stuck there.
In terms of what we have learned from our audience feedback, we originally heard that we had some changes to make. The main criticism with the video was that the background was bland and interesting, and that there was none. When given the chance to re-edit the video, we placed motion paths and effects into the background in order to give it a bit of interest. Therefore, it wouldn't be just black and dull. Also, after the audience had viewed the video, there were comments that the green screen chroma keying would need to be edited in order to restore faces and arms that were missing. After the chroma keying had been changed and some effects had been added in the background, we then settled with the video and had some more feedback given to us. Our original audience had noticed that the effects and editing had been tightened up, which is a welcome change in the feedback. The audience were aware of the character motivations and narrative of the video, due to us not focusing too much on this issue. We wanted to centre around more of a band performance, due to us wanting to stick to the main conventions of the genre. People understood that this music listened to is normally referred to as angry music, and people feel angrier listening to this than, say, an easy listening song. So we decided to include some sort of injustice within the legal system. In this case, it would be some sort of hate crime between the males and females. We understood that the audience who viewed this video enjoyed the band performance due to the song not being too old or hated by the majority of the viewers. After the second viewing of the video, there were still some minor fuzzes on the green screen to fix, but other than that, we agreed the effects were put in to help the video appeal and reach out more. And finally, after all the little annoying green screen problems had been edited, we were left with an acceptable chroma key. We learned that we had stayed true to the genre as well as making a short, understandable narrative.
During the planning of the music video, we tried out a few clips on Final Cut, which we recorded using a portable video camera to get the hang of the technology before we started shooting the real footage. The footage we took was outside to try and see if the lighting would be good enough when we shot what we actually needed. We noticed that we would have to use the lighting tool in Final Cut to brighten it up, to make the characters visible on screen in the narrative part of the video. We then used green screen technology and studio cameras in our college's studio so we could test the chroma key feature within Final Cut and practice motion paths. When we had captured the footage of the band from the studio, I quickly noticed that we had the wrong lighting shades, which caused some shots to become grainy and impossible to key out from the background. Being the editor, this was of course my job with the help of Marcus. When we had captured the footage of the band from the studio, I quickly noticed that we had the wrong lighting shades, which caused some shots to become grainy and impossible to key out the green from the background. During the evaluation stage, we again used Final Cut to edit this together and insert clips from the music video as you've seen, to better describe what we mean.